One of the younger lads at the time, he bodied Zlatan. He's fuming, and he's saying, game over. Under his breath, game over. And then Solskjaer's come up to me and said, you're in my plans. But in my head I'm thinking, got no chance that it feels, my leg feels shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. And in the group chat, one of my boys, Wardy, was like, alright Demi, what happened? I've left the game and everyone's killing you on Twitter. I was like, there's Rangers, Celtic, Hearts and Aberdeen.
Oh.
And then they've gone, the interview has gone, what about Hibs? I said, Hibs, who are they?
It's only been 11 minutes since we last spoke.
Since we last done it, what have you been up to?
Just got myself a coffee. What about you?
Fuck all, really. Still hungover from Portugal. I don't know how to get rid of it.
You had another tattoo on your head?
No. I was doing some fucked up shit over there, but I weren't doing anything like that. All tattoos are out. That was just good, to be fair. I was telling you before about all the Scarborough lads, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Great value, them.
I went to Magaluf when I first started seeing Melissa, and I got, them red lips.
I've seen the tattoo.
Yeah, but it's gone now, though. I didn't realise. It just faded. It totally disappeared now.
I've seen that before on you.
Yeah, I know. It totally disappeared. Disappeared after about 6 years.
That'd be like my head tattoo, that, won't it?
Yeah.
Fucking bald again.
He's had his head tattooed because he's going
Yeah, the
bald.
tattoo, yeah, Chris Eubank one.
Back of the head, yeah.
Is it, yeah?
Has Chris Eubank had that done?
I think so, it looks like he has. I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, all the lads,
Fighting
if
talk.
you've got a decent hairline, you can get your hairline done. But I just needed a little patch up top.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I still find it so weird. I suppose because I'm not losing my hair, but...
Would you never bick it?
Imagine my head.
Not with them ears. Like Bob.
I'm hanging with her, so imagine it without.
Imagine.
Fuck, who did we have on who's got the long throw? Tonks. Tommy Tonks.
Oh, yeah.
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 Belter.
He had fully bald head, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Shiny.
who have we got today then?
So, he's... I love his socials. Some of his tweets are class. We'll get into that straight away.
Yeah, we were talking about them, weren't we?
But yeah, but we're talking about we're talking about Wonder Kids when we talked about you, aren't we? And there's no bigger club to come through than Man United.
No.
And you'll find out when we start talking to it, he came through in a real special era, weren't it? Where them United youngsters were top, and he was one who came through as well. So yeah, it'd be good. It'd be interesting. He's still playing now, but it'd be interesting to listen to just the standard of the lads who he came up with.
Yeah.
The managers.
He won't hold anything back either, I don't think.
No.
Nah, good to go.
So yeah, Demetri Mitchell, welcome, pal.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
It's all right. It's been a pleasure.
Not come far, have you?
30 minutes down the road, not too far.
I still turned up late.
Chilly, man. Look how cool he is, though.
He does very cool. Very cool. Like the top.
Yeah, man, it's my clothing brand. Been doing it for about 6 or 7 years now. First started it when I was leaving United.
Okay.
And I kind of knew it was coming to an end, and I kind of wanted something I won't even say fall back on, because at the time I was injured and I wasn't sure if I was going to get back fit. So kind of started something up, thought it was just going to bang straight away. Kind of took a while to get going. I didn't realise how tough it was going to be, but I just couldn't. When I first started it, people were laughing a little bit and saying, "Oh, what's he doing that for?" And I couldn't chuck it in a bin at that point, because I just thought, "Nah, I'm not having that." Like,
I'm not giving up.
So
just because you're laughing at me. It's
exactly.
And how do you say it?
Benir.
Benir.
It's actually a Benir,
club.
but it's French.
Okay. What does it stand for?
It means to bless. So I was looking for a positive name message, but I didn't want something that was like relentless or motivated or something like that.
Diem.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want anything that was my name, because I think sometimes people can feel a bit funny about, especially when it's something new. Like most brands are somebody's name, like Louis Vuitton or Paul Smith or anything really. Mary, it's somebody's name. But I think when you're starting off and you're a smaller brand, me personally, I wouldn't want to be wearing Demi Mitchell. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Like a Michael Kors or something, like a
do you know what I'm
big
saying?
name.
So that's how the name came
We've
about.
got Regan Riley at Radcliffe.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yalia.
Does he do
What
his
is his clothing brand?
His brother
Joseph
does Yalia.
and Josh? Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
One of the Riley brothers. So.
Nice brand still, nice brand.
Yeah. We've been asking him for a cap all year, still not fucking got it.
Buy it, bro.
It's only a cap.
I know, yeah.
No, he wanted all the team wanted one, but he just keeps fucking.
You could do with a cap as well. So how's it going?
Yeah, brand's going well, man.
Is it?
I'll be honest with you, whilst I'm playing, it kind of takes a back seat because
Okay.
obviously my main focus is football. When I done my ACL, I saw it really ramp up because I had the time off the pitch, and when I came back and got back fit, you know, when you're playing Tuesday, Saturday, it's hard to keep on top of things and you're tired after training, you kind of gets brushed to one side. But my goal with it is not to make multi-million pounds right now, it's to have something when I finish football that I can transition straight into.
Nice.
So it's not like I'm trying to take over the world and become represent overnight. Like, I know it's going to be a slow process whilst I'm still playing, but as long as I can get it to a point where when I'm finished, it can help me maintain the same level of life I'm living, and that's the goal at the moment.
Yeah.
Like people I've spoken to who have done similar, not just with clothes but with other stuff, they say the biggest part of it is marketing.
100%. The
Like,
product.
your
Sorry,
marketing's got to be on it all the time, and you got to
100%.
spend money on marketing to get the returns.
you do, and it's not just, you can't just chuck it at in meta ads, which is you probably might not know too much about it, but you can't just chuck it at meta ads and think that it's loads of things. Like yesterday I was doing street interviews, just building a community, and right now I think what's helping brands, even podcasts, but podcast is self-explanatory, is building the personal brand along with the clothing brand. So before, back in the day, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, it was just about a clean aesthetic. You don't really want to know who's the brand. You want to just have the black and white, clean photo shoot at the studio, looking professional. Now it's like they just want to see raw, who's owning the brand, what is it, what's the message, what's it about, and it's
Now
just
they
kind
want
of
to see the
flipped.
story behind
Story,
it.
there you
don't
go,
they?
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of flipped. So just trying to find that transition and kind of merging it with the football, opposed to just doing like simple plain. Anyone can make a brand and just put a logo on it, on something. So it's kind of the message behind it I'm trying to push right now.
Mono couldn't get his face on it, could he?
No.
I go into his shop and he's like, right, what do you want, fatty? He's just like, imagine him on there.
He's the other side. He'll get his clothes on and go, look at this crap. Look at this. Who's going to buy this crap? And then he'll like throw it on a model and stuff and say, right, look, you can look all right in it. And then people are like going, oh, I love that.
People can relate to it.
Yeah.
You don't want to see like flipping somebody that looks like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That's just
giving it the big
they
one.
want to see someone that looks relatable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Surprised he
fair
hasn't
play.
called me up, but come on, Mono.
Getting too old now, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting too old. So have you reached out to, like, if we go back to the youth team when you were coming through at
Yeah.
Man United, have you reached out to any of them lads to help you with the brand? Because you get like we'll go through some of the names in a minute.
Some of the names are mad.
When I started out, a lot of them did help me, and I gifted some clothes to them, like McTominay, Marcus, Angel, Chongi, a lot of the ones that were in and around my age. To be fair, most of the bad feedback I was getting was from people that were like physios and masseuses and just people that were just like doing 9 to 5s and just was like, what you did? And I was just thinking, so but, like the players and that were quite supportive, to be honest with you. But, yeah.
Physios from where?
From United and that, like, saying,
Really?
like,
Slagging
What,
you.
slagging you off?
or like old coaches that were like a bit dinosaurish. Not
People who
saying any
didn't
names.
understand it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
All
So-
physios wear his club tracksuits, though.
Exactly.
What's that guy called from Bury? All he wears is club tracksuits. It stresses me out.
I don't know.
What's he called? Every club he's been at, that's all you see him in.
But I think most football staff are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like suit and tie with tracky pants. They're very tracky pants on.
You swing it.
So go on then, take us back. How old were you when you got brought into Man United? Because you're 28 now, aren't you?
Yeah, 28 now. So the way the process works is some lads you'll hear say, I came to United at 6 or I came to a big academy at 9 but what it is that you go to like a development centre if you get scouted really young, and then you can only sign when you're either 8 or 9 or your 8th or 9th like school year kind of thing.
Yeah.
So so I played for Fletcher Moss where the likes of, I think Marcus was there.
They've
Roshan
always had a good
Williams.
team.
Yeah. I think Ravel was there, Welbeck.
People talk about Ravel
Yeah.
and they say he could have been one of the best United players ever with the way that he trained, but he just couldn't develop that into a game.
He was like 4 years older than me, so it's hard for me to say, but
Right.
like looking up at the older age groups, it was always obviously Ravel, Pogba, and Jesse was like up there as well, but I say it was those two mainly.
Right.
But we used to do this thing where we'd leave school as year 8 and we'd go and train with Paul McGuinness, it was at the time. He'd make all age groups from under 18s to maybe under 12s train together in this thing called the cage.
All right.
So like we'd experienced like playing with them, and it was like obviously it was the most nerve-wracking thing because like you're 12, 13 years old, and you're training with like 17-year-olds, and like they're almost in the first team and that, and you're proper shitting yourself. But it's
not just that. Like, I bet Pogba was about 6'5" at 17,
literally.
weren't they?
Mate, it'll be a 7-a-side pitch, with walls, and there'll be about 15v15. But Paul McGuinness's thing was he wanted everyone to be able to play in tight spaces.
Yeah.
So that's the reason that he do it, and it was kind of like more building the relationship with the younger players that were coming through and stuff like that. So it was good.
Ever get tasty in them games?
The tastiest sessions that we had were actually at school when we used to do a 7 a.m. session, and I don't might get in trouble for this, but we used to do a game that one of the coaches used to take. I'm not going to get the coach in trouble, but he's one of my favourite coaches. A few lads don't know what I'm talking about. We used to do a game of certain people against certain people, and it used to get a bit tasty still.
That's
in the morning.
I can imagine.
But like, it was all fun and games afterwards.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and we'd keep the score every week because it was only 2 sessions that we do at 7 a.m. And we'd keep the score every game, and until it got to 10, and last game of the last one of the season.
Oh really?
Yeah, we used to train in the morning and the evening.
Was it close games as well?
It was close.
Was
close.
it?
Yeah, it was.
Certain people versus certain people. That's just done with that.
That's brilliant. But
Fair
there
enough,
must have
though.
been some talented lads in that group then, though.
Yeah, talented lads. The ones that were the age group above when I was coming through, before we got to under 18s was James Wilson and Harrop. They were like the two that we used to look up to a lot from the younger ages and be like flipping all that. That was one age group above, and then the age group above them was like Ben Pearson, Joe Rothwell, couple other lads that were like when you train with them, it was like flipping all that's the level I've got to get to.
Like Rothwell went on and had a good career, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Ben
just
Pearson as
got
well.
promoted with Leeds to the Premier League. So, and then my age group, we had McTominay, myself. From ones that you would remember, there was others that you might not remember, like Devontae Redmond and stuff. He was a really good player. In my age group, growing up, I'd say I was always one of the better players. And McTominay, when we was really young, McTominay was the best probably up until about under 12s. And then he just didn't grow for ages. And then it took him until about 17, 18, where he was actually struggling. You won't mind me saying this, he was struggling just because of the size element of things. And but the club just kept faith in him until he got to 17, 18, and he just shot up. But
He then grew again, didn't he?
Yeah.
I remember.
Crazy.
What do you think of what he's doing now over there in Napoli?
amazing. Like for me, I don't understand why.
He's going to get Player of the Year, they reckon.
crazy.
Player of the Year, anchored with the league.
Couldn't get a game at United.
Well, I think when he left Man United that season, he finished top goal scorer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
For me, what I think happens a lot at Man United or any top club is that what people are doing at the time. So, for example, what McTominay was doing last season, if he was doing that in a winning team, the fans will be all over him, buzzing. But because he's doing it in a team that's struggling, for some reason, United and maybe other clubs as well, when the team's not doing well, they're picking on the players that, not picking on them, but they're singling out the players that are actually doing well and saying that they're not doing well enough. It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange.
I don't think it's appreciated enough.
Yeah, like they've pushed Rashford out the door. They've pushed McTominay out the door. You've seen there was a time where they wanted Bruno out. They're saying Bruno's he's too selfish and whatnot. And there's Maguire tried to edge him out, and it's for me they're like the best players that. Pogba, they edged him out, the fans, and I think if you kept all of them and you made them stay after, you'd be doing well. Do you know what I'm saying? You might I'm not saying you'd be challenging for titles, but you won't be. You won't be 17th in the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you won't be fourth bottom. Would you?
Exactly. So I think, and if you look
Did
at
you start off as a winger as well?
Me, I started off as a winger. I started off as a winger, so I was a winger all the way through until all the way up to under 23s.
Near enough when you was getting your debut.
Yeah, so I was a winger, and then I got to under 23s football, and I had an injury. For the last 6 months of the under 18s, and I was flying before that.
Yeah,
and I got injured, and then when I came back, it's like everybody progressed so much in 6 months. When you're young at that age, 6 months is a long time of progression. So when I came back, everything just felt 100 miles an hour because now it's not just my age group. We're now training with Januzaj, Andres Pereira, James Wilson, Harrop, Petrucci, that are all in the reserve. So
Class that, innit?
it was like a step up, and I'd missed 6 months. I was used to playing with, as a second year scholar, my age group and a year below. Now we're playing with 1, 2, 3 years older than us. So when I came back as a winger, the players that I was competing against, like I just said, Januzaj, Pereiras, these are in attacking positions, Wilson, Harrop, like I couldn't get a sniff. And that was under Warren Joyce. And then a year went by and they didn't even really make the bench. And what Warren would do is Warren would bring down a lot of the first team players when they were looking for minutes after not playing or being injured.
Yeah.
So we'd have Memphis Depay playing as well, and then you've got Will Keenan. So it was for the first year I just didn't get a sniff in the resis. And then
did that improve you as a player though? Because like that's some standard to be trying to step up to.
100%. It improved me, and it was kind of a bit of a humbling experience because going through the ages, I was always like one of the best players. So when it got to playing with better players, I was like flipping out. Like I thought I was nearly there, but like if these are not even in the first team, and I've got to get better than them. So it was definitely.
I like how he said that. It's humbling.
It was humbling.
It was humbling. Yeah, because
nice and early as well. At least
not many players admit to that though. Not many players like.
I kind of needed it, to be honest with you.
Did you?
I was a bit
big.
I was a bit cocky.
Yeah.
Cocky.
But do you not think for any top player to make it, you have to have that arrogance?
100%.
You have to have that self-belief.
Sometimes I wish I still had that same cockiness that I had then.
Yeah.
Delusion almost. And I've spoke to so many players that are in League One, and you need the ones that I've spoke to that seem a bit delusional always end up kicking on and getting a move because they might say I'm going to get 30 goals a season, but then you only end up getting 20, but they still get the move because they've got 20. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you on about? 30
Everyone's
goals?
like, how's he got there?
Yeah.
He's just a mad cat. That's just what it was.
It's like that old saying, isn't it? Like, if you reach for the moon, you'll reach hit the sky or something like that. If you reach for the sky, you'll only hit the ceiling. Something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking good in that. You know exactly what it is.
I'll use that. So you get what I mean?
What did they do? Just stick you right back or left back and go on, have a go?
So Warren's left. Warren Joyce left. He was big on the running, the gym, because from the step up from the 18s to the 23s, he was like, I need to physically prepare you for men's football. So it was all about how long can you do plank for, how fast can you do a line run for, which is every lining back on the pitch. It's all about and to be honest, from the 18s to the 23s, the first year, I found it difficult physically. But that experience bettered me for my second year. And in the second year, I was still struggling to get in. And then Warren's left and Nicky Butts came in. And Nicky Butt just said to me, how do you fancy about playing wing back or left back? I just wanted to play because I was in my last year of my contract and I'm not played for a year and a bit, year and a half. This is December now. My contract's up in May, June. I was like, yeah, I'll play anyway. I'll play goal.
Put the gloves on.
So I played there in a resi game against Chelsea, and I was man of the match. Played really well, and I thought, you know what, I don't mind a bit of this because I was playing wing back then.
Yeah,
I was getting the ball driving from deep rather than sometimes when you're playing out wide, you can be playing with your back to goal and you got someone up your ass, and it's when you're playing wing back or left back, you're getting the ball facing the player straight away and you're just running at them. Yeah. So I enjoyed that, and then played 3 months for the 23s at left back because it was fluctuating between wing back and left back. A back four and a back three, and then Mourinho must have came to a couple of the games, liked what he saw, and then I was on the bench against Southampton, Arsenal. No, I wasn't on the bench against Arsenal. I was in the squad against Arsenal, on the bench against Southampton and Tottenham, and then Palace was started.
Crystal Palace last game of the season, weren't it?
Yeah. But the 2 games against, I'm not gonna lie, the 2 games against Southampton and Tottenham, I was on the bench thinking, nah, I'm not coming on against. It was Buffon. I said, I don't want to come against Buffon and Tottenham. I think it was Son or someone like that. I can't remember who was talking. I was thinking, nah, I'd rather start the game.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I get that. Surely though, if you got the chance, you'd jump at it, but as you sat there, think,
he weren't going to say no, was he?
No, but I'm saying in your own head, you jump at the chance, but you're thinking,
it's nerve-wracking.
I don't want to get torn a new one here if I come on, and then that's my only chance gone in it.
Who did you start against?
And I ended up starting against Wilfred Zaha.
I was going to say was Zaha, yeah.
But when I think about it now, I remember he told me the day before. So we saw me in the canteen, and he was like,
who did?
Mourinho. So he saw me in the canteen getting lunch, and he was like, kid, grabbed me by my shoulder, by my elbow, and he goes, kid. I was like, yeah. And he was like, tomorrow you start. And I was like, yeah. I was just like flipping it, like, just like that.
Food.
Yeah. I couldn't sleep, mate. Like, I was just thinking, like, I was looking at Crystal Palace, like, who's playing right wing? Because obviously Zaha would play both sides. Thinking, hope Zaha's not playing on the right tomorrow. But in hindsight, you probably want to play against somebody that's like of that level, because if he does tear you a new one, it's like you're playing against Zaha. Whereas if you play against a young lad and you don't do well, it's like
if he tears you a new one, you're like,
it's
oh,
like,
shit.
do you know what I'm saying?
Even Balassi was on the other side or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, none of them.
Yeah, no thanks.
So
you did well
sleep that night. Yeah, done very well. I was on it, man. I was in a warm up and I couldn't string 2 passes together. And
Is that just nerves, you think, until you settled in?
yeah. Even sometimes in training, when you go and train with the first team, especially when it's like, when it's last minute, but sometimes you're just very nervous just to go over there and then show what you can do, because you know, like, if I mess this up, like, I might not be back over here. So sometimes the training sessions were more nerve-wracking than like when I was actually playing in that match, because it's like when you're having a stinker in training, you're thinking these guys think I'm shit.
How bad's that feeling?
Oh, it's terrible.
When you're walking off training and you're thinking, they all think I'm so bad.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know what to do here.
you've got Radcliffe players doing that.
No, it was
he's got like Zlatan and people like that.
My first training session at Alta, turned up, couldn't shoot, couldn't pass, couldn't do nothing. I've been on the piss for about 2 weeks, to be fair, which didn't help. But like, as I'm walking off, I'm thinking, there's no way I'm getting a deal, and these lads all think I'm crap. Even if I do get the deal, they're not going to want me here.
You're more bothered about impressing your teammates or the players than the gaffer.
Horrendous feeling.
Yeah. I suppose it's being accepted, isn't it, though, in that group?
Yeah,
like, if you're accepted by the players, you know the manager's going to like you anyway.
That's
so
true. That's true.
So when you was training back down with like the 21s and stuff, who were the first team players at the time, and was there a big gap where you guys, every now and again, you'd get called up, and it was one of them where
So after I played in the first team, I was pretty much with them full time.
Yeah.
So I was with them for about 6 months before I went on loan. So I wasn't in a changing room, but I was just going to train with them every day. So there was
that in a different part of Carrington, or
no? So I'll break this down for you just quickly. So I don't know what it's like there now, because obviously I left 5-6 years ago, and I spoke to a few lads, and I think they're doing like a bit of work and grounds.
Separated
yeah,
now,
they're doing the grounds up. So there's 2 buildings, both of them probably equal in size. There's a younger building which has got the big dome in it, which is for under 12s to under 16s. This is what it was when I was there.
Yeah.
And then there's the other building, which is 18s, 23s and first team. And 18s and 23s changing rooms next door to each other. And then through a door, which has got like a code on it, is the first team building. But everyone's just circulating the building.
Okay.
So you're eating with them. Even from 13, 14, you're eating with the first team. So when Alex Ferguson was there, we was all eating with like, I don't know who was there when I was 13, 14.
That does not happen now, by the way.
No, I know.
That doesn't happen. But
It's
like
great.
what? Like it should happen.
It should.
Like surely that was like inspirational for you guys at that age.
It just made it more comfortable. So when you get to the point where you do go and train with them, you're not starstruck. You're not like
That's true.
just mesmerised by them. So
But you still need enough to get that code, don't you?
yeah,
Once you got the code,
Once you get the code, you know you're set.
that's all you need. That
Yeah,
code.
literally.
You can train with them, but
Yeah.
buzzing.
But yeah. So when I was breaking through, it was Zlatan, Pogba, Mata, Matic, Ashley Young, Rooney. Good squad. Luke Shaw, obviously Marcus.
Unreal squad, that.
Unreal. What was that like, being called across to go and train with them lads?
Daunting at first. A lot of the time, someone like David De Gea, you'd score past him, but he wouldn't try in training, so it was just mad. So like, you'd score like a half decent goal, but you just stick an arm out, and it's like, oh, he's not even trying. But it was mad. Like some of the players were like bang at it. Some of them were just like Matto. He was just chill. Like he'd hate you like tackling him hard. He'd just be like, oh, what are you doing? But he wouldn't say anything. But he just sometimes you'd be like, oh, Matto, because he just trains so chill.
Yeah.
So there was one time, I'll give you a good story. So there was one time Zlatan must have just been in a pissed off mood, and
It's not like Zlatan.
and he must have had the ball, and one of the younger lads at the time, he's actually had a good career in the first team, has like bodied Zlatan quite heavily.
Yeah.
Zlatan's like shielding the ball from someone else, and this lad's come out of nowhere and just bodied him, and Zlatan's fuming because he was a big lad, the guy that done it to him, but obviously Zlatan's strong, but he wasn't expecting it because he was shooting it from someone else. Someone just come blindside, boom, give me the ball.
So now he looks like he's been strengthened.
Yeah, in front of everyone. So he's fuming. So anyway, he's walking around in this possession and he's saying, "Game over." Under his breath, "Game over." I'm thinking, game over? What's happening? Like, so anyway, this lad's got the ball again now, and he's shielding it because it was a game where like it was tight, so he kind of just had to move and use your body. So he's shielding it now. He's come behind him and basically done a kung fu kick down the back of his calf. Ball's on the floor, straight through the back of his calf. He had to go in. The lad had to go in, bleeding and everything. So straight through the back of his calf.
Game over.
So anyway, story's not over. We're doing 5-0s now, and I'm on the opposite team of Zlatan. So I've got the ball off the keeper on the right side. Small game. Got the ball on the floor. I've gone to cut in and just whip it top bin. So I've cut inside, ball's on the floor. Done the same to me. Boom. Kneecap straight into my knee. And then it gets worse than that. So I'm on the floor now, and then he stands over me and he says, "Do not dribble in training. I don't like little dribblers." So it's like, I had to go. I was out for 2 weeks. Crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's not maddest thing. But yeah.
But you can imagine him doing it though, can't you?
Just teaching people a lesson.
No one would say anything to him.
Well, I was just going to say, is there anybody at that time could have gone, "Whoa,
I don't think anyone
what
can
you
say
doing?"
anything to Zlatan, to be honest with you. Zlatan's Zlatan, innit? It was.
Did you see much of the good side of him?
He does have his days.
Because he was moody, weren't he?
First time I remember training with him, he just signed, and he was doing like a fitness session, and he wanted to get like just 2 small mini goals and a few of the young lads, no other first team players, and he must have flip flopped me, and he didn't do it through my legs. He done it round me. So he flip flopped me round the back of me and got it on the other side. I thought, this is nuts.
Really, is that good?
It was that good. I didn't even see what was going on.
And he's huge as well, isn't he?
He's massive. And I think for somebody that size, this is what I always said about Pogba. When I see somebody that's my size and they've got great feet and technical ability, like I kind of expect it. But when you see someone of that size, of Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, being able to manipulate the ball and do certain things that somebody that you would expect of my height to do, I just think, flipping out.
You're making a lot of money if you built like that as well.
Yeah.
I've seen some of Zlatan's goals because I used to, like, when he first came to United, I Googled him to see some of the goals that he scored where he just chopped in and out of Ajax. Ajax, like 6 or 7 players. Then when you think he's going to shoot, rolls it over his foot and round the keeper, you're like, someone of, what is he, 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5".
6'4", 6'5" to be doing stuff like that.
But I think that's why McTominay and Rashford, when they were young, both of them were really small. So I had a coach say to me and explain this to me, and he said, when you're young, you want to kind of, not want to, you haven't really got a choice in it, but if you're really small and young, you're either going to find a way to get through the system by using your technical ability, or you're just going to get like brushed aside and you say you're not good enough. So these players that are smaller at the younger age groups, 14, 15, 16, they have to find a way. And then once they do grow, they've still got that same technical ability. Whereas if it's the other way around and you're 6 foot at 15, you don't have to use the technical side of the game. So you're just used to saying, stay there, knock the ball, and you don't ever get a chance to develop your actual skills and abilities. So then when everyone does catch up to you, then you're finished.
You see some units, don't you, in like year 11?
Yeah.
You think, he's not even that good, but he's just bigger and faster.
Yeah.
And that's the thing though, like you say, when everybody becomes 6 foot and they're all as strong of you, like what else have you got?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where like a lot of them fall out of the game then, isn't it?
I actually had to adapt my game a little bit because I wasn't a giant when I was young, but I probably stopped growing at about 14. So I was one of the players that was faster than everyone else, not necessarily stronger, but like quite big.
Yeah.
And I was kind of playing like, as a winger, I was playing more like Gareth Bale kind. Obviously not Gareth Bale, but you know what I mean?
No,
in terms of style.
Yeah, like pace and power.
Like knock it and run past people.
Okay.
And then obviously people started to grow and stuff. And then that's when I had to kind of become more of a tricky, more say Doku kind of winger rather than Gareth Bale's kind of. So yeah, I'm not comparing myself then too bad. Before you snip this.
But you were successful for England as well around that age, weren't you? Under 17s, did you win the Euros, was it?
Yeah, and that was also another won't say it was a humbling experience, but it put things into perspective, because when you're playing for Manchester United, even though you're at Manchester United, at 15, 16, 17, you're still only playing with mainly players from that region.
Yeah.
So you're not playing with players that all over the nation, all over England. So being the best at Man United really just meant you're one of the best in the region. So then when I went to play for England, I was then playing with the best players across England in terms of Solanke, Patrick Roberts, who else was there? That was Joe Gomez, Adam Armstrong. So when I went there, I was no longer the best players. I was just a good player there, if that makes sense.
And is that what you felt like as well? Were the other players that good that you kind of thought?
I didn't think I was not on the same level as them. I just felt like we were all on the same level.
Yeah.
Whereas at Manchester United, there was 2 or 3 of us that were leaps ahead of everyone else in the group. And when I went there, everyone was kind of just on a level playing field. And
to be fair, you missed 2 out that weren't bad there. Reece James and Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, they were they were a couple years younger than me. So they actually came to a tournament that was 2 years older.
Right.
So
they were playing up.
Yeah, so I roomed with Reece at the time, actually. He was a cool guy, man. He was only young. I think I might have been 19, he was 17. But yeah, I only did the one trip with those 2. But yeah, Harvey Barnes. The best was David Brooks.
The Bournemouth.
Yeah. And I played against him at City, and he got released from City. Probably 3 years prior.
Okay.
And he was small as well. And then when I played against him, he was like Mesut Ozil. It was mad. He was top.
Where's he come from?
Yeah. So how did that affect you mentally then, going into that group of England players? Did you think, right, okay, when I get back to United, I've got to go again. I've got to step up again?
Not really, because I didn't feel like they were ahead of me.
Okay.
I felt like we was all equal in terms of ability, but it just made me realise that, it's not easy. So when I came back to United, I probably it improved me more. Even that 2 week spell that I had with them, just that 2 weeks improved me, because now I'm going back after playing with. It's like when you go and train with the first team and come back to the reserves,
it's a little bit faster, a bit sharper.
Yeah, so
yeah.
It was improving me, just those little 2 week spells, and just put things into perspective to make me realise you're not there yet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And did you win the Euros?
Won the Euros, yeah.
That must have been a brilliant experience.
Yeah, it was mad. That it was. Don't know. We kind of not expected to win it, but you see England winning a lot of youth tournaments, don't you? And we're one of the favourites anyway.
Yeah.
And it was a good squad. Izzy Brown was in that squad as well. He had, I think he stopped playing now, but he had a good career.
Mad that he stopped playing now.
28.
Yeah, 28. It happens to a lot of players though.
Yeah, no.
Like Harrop, who played with me on my debut.
We spoke about him before. Yeah, we've seen it so much with guests that we've had on here.
Yeah.
And they've talked about players where they've made the debut in the Premier League or even played 5 or 6 games and then all of a sudden 26, 27, they've either fallen out the game or they're playing at a real...
Injuries though, man. I've had them myself. I think Harrop done his ACL.
Yep.
I've done my ACL. And if you just have one at the wrong time, you're out of contract and you're not going to be back for 3 or 4 months. Nobody wants to touch you. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's not necessarily just injuries making you. And also, I've had injuries where it takes you a while to get back to your best. Or not even that. I've had injuries where I've struggled to find the reason behind why I'm still getting a little niggle, and then it might just take something small to fix it, like an injection, and then I feel brand new. But sometimes players are carrying something, and I think if you're carrying something that's making you play 5% worse, that 5% is massive. So it's just
you don't play with that freedom either. It's always in the back of your mind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's difficult, man. It's difficult.
So obviously you've won the Euros. Can you remember? I don't suppose you can remember the starting 11, but who were the standout players for you in that tournament?
A player that I really admired when I was going away to play with England was Patrick Roberts.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's still at Sunderland. I think he is. His dribbling was it sounds stupid to say, but it was the closest thing I saw to Messi.
To Messi,
yeah. I swear down.
Yeah.
If you watch some of his highlights, the kid, a kid. He's my age, but
Was it Man City?
he was at Man City.
Yeah.
He got a move from Fulham to Man City. He played
Then he went to Sunderland. He played for
Sunderland.
Sunderland.
He went to Celtic,
That's right. Yeah, Celtic.
and then he
first.
went to Sunderland. I think
Did
after
really well at
that.
Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But his dribbling was just. If you watch some of his highlights later, you'll see what I mean by Messi. He even looks like Messi.
Yeah.
I can't believe. So you're winning all this. You're training with first team, and then why did they send you out on loan? Or is that something you wanted to do?
No, so after I played in the first team, I went on tour with United.
By the way, you made your debut the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
You must have been buzzing that summer.
Yeah.
You're going away with like the lads.
Do you know what? Yeah. I can't even remember it too much. I was more just looking forward to get back to go on this pre-season
Was it?
tour.
Was that what it was like?
It was more just anxiety, like, am I going to go on this tour? Because Mourinho was not really one to...
That's a pre-season tour.
Yeah. Mourinho
Okay.
wasn't really one to bring many first team younger players to train or to tour. It was like he'd have his group, and the younger lads that was with the first team, those were the younger lads. So like, I think Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, Timothy Mensah, those are like with the first team. And then it was me and Scott. Like me and Scott were actually like becoming good friends, because me and Scott over the years, like we never had any beef or anything, but we was just teammates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, never really friends, just teammates.
Just teammates. And then as we were getting called up, me and him all the time, we kind of got a bit closer and closer because we was the two young lads. And then we went on tour together, me and Scott. Just us two got selected to go on a tour.
Is this with the first team?
Yeah, with the first team to LA.
To LA.
Yeah, to LA.
Oh, it's not bad, is it?
We ended up at an Adidas party with YG, Jamie Foxx, and Emrata was there. It was just nuts.
Jamie Foxx.
I'm 20, just like.
That's a different world you've just gone into.
It was
innit?
crazy, mate. It was crazy, honestly.
What's the gaffer like?
Mourinho?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah. At first, I just didn't quite like understand him, but I think he felt unapproachable at the time because I was young. But the more I got to work with him, I kind of realised that he's actually like he's got a good heart. He's got a good heart. Like it is hard for young lads to get through. Like some managers just want to bring them all, just bring all the young lads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then some managers like Mourinho, but it felt more rewarding because it was only me and Scott that were getting to train with him. So it felt like we was actually earning it rather than it was just like, we'll have them all.
When it's more selective, it feels more personal.
Yeah.
And that you've earned it and you've done well.
Like I remember Van Gaal, when he was in there, I was not playing for the reserves at the time, so I was nowhere near it. But I think he might have brought 6 or 7 lads to the first team to play against MK Dons, and he lost 5-0 because he played them all at once.
Yeah.
But it was just like, what Van Gaal would do is he wouldn't play anybody out of position. So if you're a left back, if 2 left backs get injured and you're in the reserves and you're next up, he's not going to put a left centre back left back. He's playing the next left back there. So he had like
that's not bad for you guys.
Yeah, it's good for the young lads.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how a lot of the first team players with Van Gaal were breaking through into the first team, because it was like, no, we're not putting Phil Jones right back. We're gonna play Joe Riley. And then that's how lads were breaking through. So it was good. But yeah, the way that I broke through with Mourinho was just, it felt more meaningful.
Yeah. Did you, coming back that second season, did you feel like you might get a chance?
Yeah, so I've gone on the tour, done quite well. Played, I can't remember what games I've played in now on the tour, because I went on 2 tours, went on the tour the next year as well. So I went on tour, done quite well. Dyed my hair blonde, which I wish I never did.
So you just wanted to stand out.
Yeah, like, to be fair, Scott done it as well, but he's already got blonde hair, so he weren't as noticeable.
Was there not like a rule where you could only wear black boots unless you'd made so many appearances or been bought for so much money or something?
As I was coming through, that was something that was changing over time. So under 18s, Paul McGuinness was quite strict with it. And then Warren Joyce was quite strict with it. Warren Joyce would even say, you can't wear white socks until a certain time. So we'd make all the reses in the first year pro wear long socks. You know, the long ones.
Yeah. What, in training?
In training, yeah. He said, if you're a first year... But then the second year pro would have the white socks.
Did you have to wear shinnies as well? Imagine long socks and shinnies.
I'm not sure, maybe.
We played a game at all team pre-season against United, and the whole team had black boots on, apart from the young right back who'd just been bought. and he had yellow boots on.
Okay.
He was the only one, but I can't remember his name. He
Probably had a sponsorship.
Still aren't brought for it. I don't think.
Trying to think.
What now? Still now? But not now. But when was it?
Him playing for United.
But when was it?
Right back who got signed.
When was your outie?
4 years ago, 5 years ago.
I think if under 18s have to wear black, and then I think reserves onwards now can wear coloured boots.
Right, there you go. I knew it was something like that.
Any first team players stood out in that pre-season tour? Did you mix with him? Like, were they welcoming?
I tell you who the most welcoming was, and this really frustrates me sometimes, is because people, a lot of the time, fans and just fans really, and pundits as well, to be honest with you.
People who don't understand.
Yeah, so they'll look at somebody like Paul Pogba and think that they're an idiot because he's dyeing his hair and because he's dancing and stuff like that. But he was one of the ones that was the most embracive. Like, he was the one that would come to the young players, myself, Angel, Scott, and have a laugh and a joke and just make you feel a bit more welcome. Lukaku, another one. He was one that people, maybe not so much as like Pogba because he's not really doing the haircuts and stuff, but he's got a lot to say for himself sometimes, Lukaku, and people think, he's a bit arrogant or whatnot, but him and Pogba were the two that would speak to you and make a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think sometimes...
What a player Lukaku were.
Yeah.
Underappreciated
at United, I think.
Yeah, I think, like, if you look back, he scored so many goals.
Imagine they kept him.
Yeah, but they were like, his movement's not great.
Rashford.
His movement's not great. He's put a bit of weight on. Yeah, but he's scored 20 goals still.
Not even smalling or anything like that. Yeah. Keeping them all.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Got rid of so many good players, haven't they?
But going back to what you were saying about, did I think I was going to get a sniff?
Yeah.
I asked the club, am I going to not play, but am I going to get a chance when I come back, or can I go out on loan? If not, and they basically said you can't go out on loan in case we need you.
Who did you ask that question to?
It was probably Nicky Butt at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably he was the academy manager.
Yeah.
So, or my agent might have asked somebody that he knows, which might have been a sporting director or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they said we need you as like the third choice. So I said okay, like, and then it was Luke Shaw, Ashley Young, and then it would have been myself, I'm guessing, as the third choice. And neither of them got injured, or maybe one of them did and the other didn't. So I kind of didn't get a sniff. And then January came. I said, right, I'm going to have to go on loan because I can't play another year just sat in the resis.
Yeah.
And I went to Hearts, yeah.
What made you decide Hearts?
I was going to say, was that a choice?
No, but like, it's obviously, it's a different kind of football up there, isn't it?
Scottish Prem, isn't it?
But you are playing Scottish Prem, so it's a good level.
Do you know what? I just saw it as, they came in very early in the window.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go and play football in men's football, and I just saw Scottish Prem as a higher level than maybe going to League One at the time. So I just jumped at it. I went up there, I looked at the facilities, and the manager Craig Levein at the time, he was a bit like kind of like an Alex Ferguson kind of manager. So he'd managed Scotland, I believe, and was a sporting director previously at Hearts, and he's a manager again. So he had that, like, he was more of a manager than a coach.
Yeah.
And then the coach and stuff. So he's brought me up there, talked to me about the club, the history, showed me around the stadium. It was an amazing stadium. One of my favourite stadiums, to be honest with you. And Tynecastle. And showed me this, he showed me this massive complex, which was similar to the Scottish version of St. George's Park, called the Orium. And I was like, oh my God, like the facilities here is like up there with like, it's not too far off Carrington. So anyway, I've signed, and then I got up there, and then they showed me to the change room and they said, right, so this is our section of the building. And we had this small section that was like maybe an eighth of the building.
Oh no.
And it was like, you can only use the gym when the under 15s lacrosse team's not in.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh right, so it's not the, but it was, I really liked my time there. Had a good start there, played really well for my first loan there, and then came back.
Did you join again the season after?
Yeah, so I picked up a niggle and joined a 6-month loan spell. Picked up a niggle, and then because of that niggle, I only had teams that were in and around Hearts or worse, or not worse, but yeah, I deemed to be worse loans. So I thought, you know what, best option is to go back on loan to Hearts, where it was something that I knew already.
Yeah.
So I've gone back, but what happened is they changed from a back three or a back five, whatever you want to call it. They changed from a back three to a back four, and I went from playing wing back to left back. And when I was playing wing back, I was playing like a high wing back with Christoph Berra, who was just a left centre back, would head everything, kick everything, give me the ball and let me just express myself. To now playing in the back four, where it was a bit more isolated, without Christoph Berra next to me, someone else that I hadn't played with, and it was a bit more. It was more difficult.
A bit more rigid.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't get forward as much.
It's
and
more
I had to
defensive,
defend.
innit?
I had to defend more, and as my game developed, I kind of realised that my best position is wing back. When every time they changed back to a back three and I'd play wing back, I'd play well.
Yeah.
When we'd go to a back four, I'd either be poor or average. So
Right.
yeah, that's where I started to realise like I'm a wing back. Yeah.
But that's bad though, isn't it? Not every team plays a wing back.
Well,
So you'd have to have a go at left back.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
you?
I suppose like a lot of the bigger, better teams play with wing backs now, don't they? More attacking.
What it is for me, I'm 100% comfortable playing as a winger, but I'd say I'm a winger and wing back. I'm not a winger. I'm not a wing back fullback.
Yeah,
I'm a wing back winger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're an attacking wing
Exactly.
back rather than a defensive left back.
So when I was at Blackpool, this is where I had the problem again. So I've gone to Blackpool after missing 18 months of football.
What did you miss 18 months for? So what happened?
So I'll take you back. If you want to ask me anything else, by the way, just butt in and tell me to show up. I'm just rambling on. So I missed 18 months of football because I had an injury at Man United before I left, and then it was COVID. So I was out for a year with my injury at Man United already. Got to January and I'm back fit, ready to go on loan with my last 6 months on my deal, and then COVID strikes. So COVID happens, takes us to the summer, and I'm now out of contract. I've not played for 18 months and I'm in a bit of a pickle. So I'm thinking, I started doing some mad shit. So I bought 2 XL bullies. XL bullies at the time were like the thing.
Yeah.
Thought, right, I don't know what I'm going to do here because like, I'm out of contract. Still not 100% fit. Clubs are not really going to. So I'm going to buy 2 XL bullies and I'm going to breed them, sell the puppies. I was going off my head, mate. I was going off my head.
Bad place there,
I was in a
right?
bad place.
Injury does bad things to you, doesn't it?
It plays with your mind, man. So United have offered us the chance. They've let us know. And you know what? When they let us know, I knew that I was 23 at the time, hadn't played for 18 months, reserves or first team. And I knew that they weren't going to offer me a new deal.
Was that a really tough time to accept when you've made your Premier League debut against Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Following season, you've obviously gone away on tour. Like, you've not got a chance because of obviously Young and Shaw. But then, like, you skip forward 2 years and with loans and injuries, you never had that chance again. That must have been tough to take.
Yeah, and you know what happened as well? That was crazy. So with this injury that I had, I nearly got back to a place where I was back fit, but it felt terrible. It was my knee at the time.
Okay.
And it was 8 years ago now, 7 years ago. Feels brand new now, but at the time I just couldn't get it right.
Just in case any managers are listening.
I threw that in there 8 years ago, you know. It was 8 years ago. Feels brand new now.
It's never felt better.
It was actually my other knee on my ACL on, but anyway, where was I now? Yeah, so I've come back in the summer before I've had the year out.
Yeah, you felt like you were nearly ready.
Felt like I was nearly ready because I already had 3 or 4 months out it was from the previous season. And then Solskjaer's come up to me and said, you're in my plans. Like, this is also in the canteen, getting dinner. It must have been a good spot for me. So he's come up to me like, yeah, you're in my plans, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but in my head I'm thinking, I've got no chance. Like, it feels, my leg feels shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had that doubt.
So I was hopeful that it would start to settle in. I went into training with him and I was training okay, but then it was just not right every time after like 2-3 sessions and I'd have to come out of training. So I ended up missing it, and then I think Brandon Williams ended up getting his shot and he done really well, and that was like the emergence of Brandon.
Yeah.
And that's just life, innit?
They're them sliding door moments, aren't they? Whereas like if your knee's fully fit, you're back training.
Yeah, I'm good. And I get my chance.
Getting the chance.
I might just get the chance and not take it, but at least I would have got the chance. You know?
Yeah,
Was it in the end? Did you get to the bottom of it?
My knee?
Yeah.
Just an injection. That's what I was talking about before. So we got an injection and it just settled things right down. Had a bit of time off it and it was good to go again. But
They say 6 months, don't they?
yeah.
You'd be paying free for 6 months. Mine's sound after about 4 years.
What paying through? What?
You getting
After the injection, you mean?
on injections or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Said 6 months. Not been back, me. Sound. Is that how you feel now?
Yeah, literally.
I'm gonna go again. Actually, fuck it.
Did you crack?
Get my head done after this holiday.
And then yeah, so when I
Yeah,
finished,
so that's tough. It's a tough 2 years to go through that.
yeah, it wasn't. I didn't even feel any type of way that I was not getting a chance or other lads were getting chances. It was just my head was just battered that I wasn't able to get my knee back to where I wanted it to be, and that was just that was just what I was battling most. Like, it wasn't. I wasn't thinking about getting back into the first team. I was just thinking about getting back fit.
Just getting back fit.
Yeah. And then COVID happened. Yeah.
So who sat down and gave you the decision that that's it, you're not getting a new one?
It was Nicky Butt.
Okay.
And I'd had a good relationship with Nicky Butt, so I actually had in that January, Birmingham wanted to take me on loan. Didn't materialise because I couldn't get fully back fit, and then COVID happened, like I said, and then they told us around May, and when they rang us up, I knew what the news was going to be anyway, but just hearing it was just like I had that lump in my throat. Pause. And yeah, it just hit me like a ton of bricks still.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Even though I knew the news, it was a bit mad. And then...
How long have you been there?
At United?
Yeah.
Since 6 till 23. So
yes, it's a big chunk of your life.
Yeah.
17 years,
I think that's the right maths, I don't know.
Yeah, 17 years, yeah.
Big chunk. And I wasn't worried about leaving United. I was more just worried about getting... I knew clubs were not gonna want to take me on with me not playing for 18 months.
Okay.
So I knew it was the most pivotal time of my career.
Yeah.
So I bought this gym in my house, like, because it was COVID, so we couldn't go to the gyms or anything. So I've invested in a gym from Black Box, probably heard of him.
Yeah.
Black Box came to my house, built me a gym in my garage. I was just killing the leg exercises. Doing the runs outside when we was allowed to. And then United said I can come back to train with him to keep fit once COVID settled a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they offered it to all the lads that was let go that summer. And I was the only one that took them up on it. All the other lads didn't go back in. So it was probably about 8 of us actually through 2 or 3 different age groups. Like when I say age groups, it's like 23, there's like 3 or 4 different groups.
Was that hard to go back in after you'd been
I didn't give a
rejected?
Shit.
Didn't bother?
What were all the other lads like? Oh, fuck.
They were younger lads anyway. Yeah. It was more like Ethan Laird, Ethan Galbraith, Dishon Bernard, just a few younger lads, Hannibal. So I didn't mind at all. I was like, you know what, I'm coming back in to get fit, like whatever the weather. So come back in.
And it's good to have that attitude because I know a lot of lads.
But no one else came back. No one else came back that would got let go. I don't know why. Maybe because they were injured.
Stuff.
Pride.
Yeah.
Pride, and they wasn't injured. I was wanting to train and get fit because I was injured. So, so then I was in a case where I knew that clubs were going to want to see me. COVID, so wages was like clubs didn't have that much money anymore, and I knew that people would want to see me before signing me. So I went on trial. They call it training. Come and train with us and show you fit. Yeah. If I come and I'm the fittest there, but I train shit, still not going to sign me. So don't just say it's a trial. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, my friends got me a trial at Rotherham. So I've gone in at Rotherham might have been 2 weeks, and it's the best I've ever trained for ages. Probably like I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it's because I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just all this training other than the off season, and everyone else had the break as well because of COVID. Maybe those lads went up to the levels of training that I'd been doing, and I was amazing. Like I was flip flapping, step overs, putting it top bin. But I'd gone in there as a left back to train to be a left back at Rotherham. So then when it came to the deciding moment, they said to me, "We're not looking for a winger. We're looking for a solid left back." And Rotherham are renowned.
We don't need a left back who scores 40 yarders. Can you edit?
Yeah, exactly. And Rotherham are renowned for big lads, innit? Like 6'2" plus defenders. And I think it was more just doing one of the teammates a favour, like, "Oh yeah, your friend can come and train." So I didn't get anything there. So then I went to Sunderland, which my agent sorted out, and I trained almost equally as well as the Rotherham. Maybe not as good, but I'd give myself an 8.5 if it was fuck up. So I've trained there, and I'm thinking, guaranteed these are going to offer me something now because like my agent sorted it. I've done well, and then they've just said no. But they've said no and because they couldn't afford to sign anybody that window, so they still had the likes of Aidan McGeady there, who was on like some ridiculous money. I think Jack Rodwell might have still been there. I can't remember.
Big dough.
And that's summer they didn't sign anyone. But then I've gone home now, and I'm saying to my family, like, I think I might be deluded because I've gone 2 plays. I'm thinking I'm training like unbelievable, and they both said no. Like, so I'm
Did you feel that a little bit as well? Did you feel
I felt
like
rejected? Like I'm not good enough.
I'm not as good as what I think I'm doing?
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought.
There's not many people who'd think like that either, would there?
No,
that was another reality check. So I was like, but it wasn't the case because
surrounded by 50 puppies as well. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with all these dogs?
You need to get a t-shirt with 2 on.
That was one of the worst things I've done, by the way.
Class.
It was nuts. But then anyway, my agents then got me a trial at Blackpool, and but what happened is in the training with Man United, I'd mangled my ankle like maybe like a grade 1, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I was going in to train with him next week, and I'm thinking, flipping it, like what kind of timing is that? So I've gone in at Blackpool, I'm strapping my ankle, I'm going to the physio, like, can you strap my ankle? He was like, what for? I was like, oh, like, I just do it all the time anyway. So anyway.
It's sound now.
Yeah. I'm training.
It's totally fine now if anyone's listening.
I'm training, and I'm in the boxes, and like, I'm terrible because like my ankle's just like floppy and I'm not punching it in, and I'm thinking these lads are thinking he's crap. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
this lad was at Man United.
Yeah. And then we've done a training session, and one of the quickest lads I played with to this day, called CJ Hamilton, tried to knock it by me in training, and I kept up with him and got the ball, and then like a few of the lads afterwards were like flipping out, like, and the gaffer was like, quick, aren't you? And I think that kind of helped me a lot.
You can't pass it, but you're quick,
aren't you? You suit Blackpool.
Yeah. So I played in a game against Everton on a training game, or a friendly, and they've got the big hitters out, and I've not played in a game in 18 months. So I'm playing against Theo Walcott's on the right, and I'm playing left back, and they got Sigurdsson out. I can't remember who else was playing, but they had the full lot of them out.
Yeah.
So anyway, doing all right, got on the ball, I'm driving with it, on the ball, like, fine. And then Sigurdsson's played like a through ball in behind. Walcott's run off the back of me, and he's in 1v1 with the keeper, and I'm chasing him down. He's not slow, is he? So I've gone to dive in, slide tackle to win the ball back. I'm thinking I need to win this because I can't have him scoring after it's my man that's just run off the back of me. And I've took him out. And any other game other than a friendly, it's a red card. Like, it's 1v1 with the keeper, just outside the box, took him out. So referees come over, I'm thinking, I'm getting sent off here in a training game. They give me a yellow card. I'm like, flipping out, thank God for that. And then Sigurdsson's put the ball down. I'm saying, please don't go in. Slaps it top corner.
Oh, no.
Slapped it top corner. So I'm thinking, that's me done. So anyway, half time comes. I was only meant to play 45. Came off, already starting to cramp because I've not played in so long. Next day, they rang me and said, oh, I will offer him something. And then I was like, go on then. I didn't even bother. I negotiated a little bit, a couple £100. And I was like, you know what, I need to just sign this. Like, season's around the corner.
Mad, innit? You've gone into 2 clubs, trained the best you've ever trained, gone into Blackpool, had a bit of a stinker in the rondo because your ankle's taped up. Should have had a sending off and cost a goal, and they've signed you.
Yeah, but no one else would have got near Walcott.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't have got near him to bring him down.
Yeah.
And they probably thought, players in our league aren't going to be that fast, so you get them.
And you had a successful spell at Blackpool.
Yeah, that was
2 years, 50 odd games.
Oh yeah, no, I had a good spell. So what happened there was, again, the back 4, back 5 thing. I'm playing left back, and I've gone in on trial. But what it was, I was the 17th signing that summer. So I thought all of these lads have been there for ages. But as it turned out, as I'm starting to speak to people, I've just signed. I'm thinking, well, everyone's just signed. So I wasn't the new kid. So as soon as I went in there, I just felt a part of the squad because everybody was the new kid. So I settled in straight away, and I played left back, played a couple games, was doing well, and then I came up against Brennan Johnson. And I'm quick, but this guy was lightning.
Where was he at then?
He was at Lincoln on loan.
Right.
So I've come up against Brennan Johnson, but I'm not even realising he's on loan from, can't remember where he was. From Forest, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, Forest. So I'm just thinking he's a Lincoln player.
You wouldn't think though at the time, would you?
No.
Just be like, it's another...
Yeah, exactly. So I'm there showing him the line, thinking I'm quick. I was like, go on then. Take it to the line.
Take me on.
Took it to the line. I'm chasing him, gone to slide in, again against Walcott. Learnt my lesson now. Any managers listening. I dived in, give away a penalty, 4 games in. 3 games before that, I was great. And then they scored the pen. I've actually scored the equaliser, but I just remember the first penalty I've ever given away.
Yeah.
Other than against Salah on tour, but we'll go back to that. And I was just kicking myself. And then the next game was against somebody else who ended up having a top career. He's at Luton now, but he played for Luton in the Prem. He was called Doughty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left winger. Don't look like a footballer either.
No. Same thing I did to him. Didn't learn my lesson. So I thought, get tight to him. Don't look like he's the quickest. Don't look that sharp. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna just get tight to him. First couple I got
Big
there.
white guy.
He's not
big,
he's not
small,
massive. He's probably about 5'11", slim.
Yeah, right.
Playing for Charlton at the time. He's done me again in like 2 games after that. So I'm thinking the level of League One fullbacks is like it's a lot better than I thought. But that wasn't the case. It was just these 2 that I came up against were like exceptional because they've gone on to do better
Future
than
Premier League
yeah,
stars.
Exactly. So anyway, now Luke Garbutt's gone in left back because I've had a couple of bad games, and he's doing really well. So I'm not getting a sniff. So I'm thinking, flipping out, like, so I've gone to speak to the gaffer after about 5 games of not playing because as a defender, you're not getting in unless someone's getting injured, especially as a centre back. But as a left back can happen too because as a winger, most of the time you're getting 20 minutes if you're not playing, if you're on the bench, and if you are starting, you're coming off at 70 depending on how the game's going. So I've not played for like 6 or 7 matches, and I'm thinking, flipping, like, I need to play. So I've gone to the gaffer, Neil Critchley at the time, and I said, Gaffer, like, have a chat. And at this time, at this age, I wasn't really comfortable doing that. Something that now I'm 28, I don't mind saying, Gaffer, can I pull you for a chat? Sounds like Love Island. So he's like, yeah, what's up?
Can I see you by the campfire?
So he said, yeah, what's up? So I said to him, you know what, Gaff? I said, growing up playing, I've always been a winger. I was like, I've only been a fullback for like 3 months before playing for United and then coming here. Like, I've not really had much experience. When I was on loan at Hearts, I was playing as a wing back majority of the time. And I was like, I know we don't play with a back 3 here, so I think I'd be more suited to playing on the wing. And he was like, on the wing? I was like, yeah. He was like, nah. So I was like, Gaffer, like, trust me. So he was like, all right. So we had a few friendly games, played against Bury, and he's put me right wing for the last 15 minutes. Got it from a corner, cut in, put it in the top. No, it was actually the bottom corner. And then after that, he started giving me 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. And then towards the back end of the season, starting matches and then not starting at Wembley. So it was...
as a winger?
As a winger, as a right winger.
Yeah.
Had a really good game. Played in the semi-final against Oxford, 2 assists as a winger. So yeah, I've always had this like battle between fullback, wing back in my career. I've even been playing 10 this season. But I think what it is that because technically and football understanding is quite high, I can play most positions. I've even played centre mid this season and do a job.
Yeah.
But where I excel is out wide, wing back or
left or right wing.
Yeah.
At least you told him though.
Yeah. If I didn't have that conversation, he actually asked me if they would want to go on loan to Rochdale in January, and they was 23rd in the league out of 24.
I'm all right, thanks, Gaffer.
And I was like, the Rochdale manager, like, I actually knew him and he proper wanted me, and I was like, I'd rather take my chances and just.
Who was that at the time?
Brian
Barry Matthews.
Murphy.
Brian Barry Murphy.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
But I said no.
BBM.
I'm happy that I didn't go.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I ended up getting promoted and playing a big part in it.
And then you moved back up to Scotland.
Yeah, when I put it out there, that one there was a mistake. That was a mistake.
That
was a mistake. You know what it is? It's tough. So I had 6 months left on my deal. I talked to you about the championship actually with Blackpool for the first 6 months. So I've gone to Blackpool. I've started the pre-season with Blackpool.
Yeah.
And I scored 3 and 3 as a winger. And the gaffer's like buzzing off me and he's saying like, yeah, like you're going to be like our Mo Salah, like playing like a right forward. I'm like, yeah, you showed me these new runs and how I'm going to impact the team. So even...
I love that. Is that from Neil Critchley?
Yeah, he was at
You're going to be like my Mo Salah. Mo Salah of Blackpool.
That's what he said to me.
He buzzed with that though, aren't you?
Yeah.
He has a player, yeah.
I'm right, mate.
And I'm starting every game in pre-season. And I got a little niggle, kept me out for 6 weeks. And then we signed a player called Josh Bowler, top player.
And he had a worldy season. He had a worldy time at Blackpool.
So he's
At Forest now. Or he's gone abroad, hasn't he, as well?
He went to Turkey or something. So he's come in.
He was at Forest, I didn't he? Did
Yeah.
move to Forest from Blackpool, yeah.
He's the best dribbler I've ever played with, by the way, in terms of like ball manipulation. I always say there's two types of wingers. There's the ones that on the front foot, like they do the moves, like so they'll decide when to do the skill, and there's the other ones. It's the hardest ones to find is the ones where they wait for the defender to dive in and then they just move the ball, and that level of dribbling, that's an art. That's an art. Like to do step overs,
and he was the best you've seen.
He's the best I've seen at that. Patrick Roberts was up there as well, but in terms of Adnan Januzaj, he had the Adnan Januzaj where he'd wait for someone to dive in and just shift it past him, and he wasn't even quick, but he just looked rapid.
Yeah.
Small touches. Yeah, he was the best dribbler I've seen.
He did have a good season.
Yeah. So I couldn't get back in, and when I did get back in for like one game, it was like I felt like it was all on this game that I had to prove myself, and then if I didn't do that well by 60 minutes, I was getting, I won't say dragged at 60 minutes, but I was coming off for bowler. Yeah. And it was like I was just fighting a battle with like myself really, in terms of not letting not anxiety.
Did you not go back in and say, Gaffer, you do know I can play left.
I should have done that, you know. I should have done that.
Gaffer, just so you know.
I should have done that. I mean, Kesh Anderson on the left wing, who was a joke, and so I weren't getting in on the left side on that left wing, but maybe left back I should have done that, you know. So I had 6 months left, and I thought to myself, Hibs came in January and said we'll take him. I think it was 150k. So Blackpool are thinking he's got 6 months left, 150k, he's not even playing.
Take that.
They kind of wanted, I won't say they pushed me to go, they was like, it's up to you, but they was probably wanting me to go because I wasn't playing and I had 6 months left. And I spoke to them and I said, like, am I going to get a new deal in the summer? And they said, it's dependent on how the next 6 months goes. And at the time, I just messed up badly. I came on against Middlesbrough with 2 minutes to go, or 3 minutes to go. It's 1-0 before I came on. We scored the equaliser as I'm coming on. Gaffer still decided to bring me on, and then I made a mistake and we lost 2-1.
In 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, so that was...
Go win us the game, son. Fuck.
So that was...
no, not them, us.
And then...
Oh, no. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's being a defender as well. And,
yeah.
like, in hindsight, like, why is the Gaffer chucking on a defender?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
he brought me as a wing back, was playing with a back three then for some reason. But I've tried to get the ball in my own half and like drive with the ball, and someone's just, the other right wing back that I'm playing against took it off me, dribbled down, I'm chasing him back, squared it, goal. And after the game, you should never do this as a professional footballer. Gone on the comments and everyone's just killing me on Blackpool's on the full-time result.
No, just
Blackpool,
don't look.
Yeah,
Don't look as a footballer, can you?
And in the group chat, one of my boys, Wardy, was like, "Alright, Demi, what happened? I've left the game and everyone's killing you on Twitter." And so I've had a look then, and I'm having a look and it's like, "Oh, Mitchell, what the fuck's that? Mitchell's shite." And this is in the end of December, and I know that I'm not going to be playing after that.
Yeah.
And Hibs have come in, got 6 months left. They're offering me some decent money.
Get yourself off to Scotland.
Thinking, you know what? 2.5 years back in Scottish Prem, because I didn't want to drop, because I was in the Championship at the time, I didn't want to drop down back to League 1 or League 2 after not playing for the remaining 6 months of the season. So I thought, you know what, I've got Hibs, who's a top club, let me go and jump at that opportunity. And when I went there, when I was at Hearts, I said something that was so stupid but funny at the time. When I look back on it, I just laugh. So when I was at Hearts and I came back for the second spell, they asked me, why, what made you come back? So I was like, there's only a handful of big clubs in the Scottish Prem. I was like, there's Rangers, Celtic, Hearts and Aberdeen.
Oh.
And then the interview has gone, what about Hibs? I said, Hibs, who are they? Killed myself.
And it's come back to bite you.
They found it,
me.
Did they find it?
Yeah, everyone was putting it up as I signed, like Hearts were like going, like half taking a piss saying, you signed this guy and he said this. Hibs fans were like, why have we signed him? So when I first signed it, I was fighting a losing battle as it.
Yeah, that's tough to go into there.
It was tough. And then
they take that to heart, the
Scottish fan. Well,
I didn't realise.
Is that a pun? They'll take that to hearts.
Good one. And I didn't realise, like, at the time I thought I was only on loan at Hearts, so like it's not really that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise, innit? Like,
you don't think you're coming back, do you?
Yeah, I didn't think I was coming back. So
especially not to one of the clubs you've not mentioned.
Yeah. So I've gone in there, scored on my debut, and then the manager that I was playing under, Sean Maloney, and Gary Caldwell, who was the assistant, who's now the manager at Exeter, they got sacked after about 2 months. And I thought it was a bit, I won't say it was harsh, but yeah, it's relentless in Scotland. Like, managers just get cut so at Hearts and Hibs and that, it's relentless. So I think Martin Boyle, who was the best player at Hibs, had left to Saudi. I'd been signed and got injured. And yeah, it was a tough time for them. Anyway, Lee Johnson's come in and started a new season. I've got a long-term injury through my ankle. And
they really struggled that season.
Hibs
With Lee Johnson, they did, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, it was a. I could talk you through the injury, but it sounds like I've had loads of injuries, which I have. But
totally fine now, though.
I'm through him now. So the club messed me up when I was at Hibs. I'll be honest with you. I'll speak on it. So I've done my ankle, and there's 2 ways that I could have rehabbed it. I could have got the surgery, or I could have rehabbed it without the surgery. So I opted to rehab it without the surgery because it was the same time frame as having an operation. So they said, I don't need the op. I said, yeah, that's fine. Didn't have the op. 3 months down the line, came back, was feeling some discomfort in the back of my ankle, which didn't feel like the injury that I got. It felt like something new. So I explained it to them, saw the specialist. He said, still looks a bit unstable. We'll get the surgery. So now it's 4 months because that was like a period of a month. I've got the surgery. So we're at 4 months now. I've got the surgery. Another 3 months. Takes me to 7 months. Come back, feels exactly the same. I said, I'm still getting this feeling in the back of my ankle. What is going on? So they was like, just do these exercises. And I was like, listen, like, I ended up kicking off and saying, going in early in the morning and saying, look, I need to go down to a specialist in Manchester and get this sorted out because it's not what you're saying it is, because it's something that feels completely different. My ankle feels fine. So I've gone down. I've seen a specialist. He's done an ultrasound scan. And he said, you've just got a cyst in the back of your ankle, which is causing you impingement. All I need to do is pop it and you should be fine.
So you don't think you should have had the surgery?
No, didn't need it. Didn't need the operation. He's popped it.
Yeah.
I've gone back to the missus. I said, babes, feels fine. She's like, it's only been a day. I'm like, trust me, like, I'm bending my foot. I'm like, it feels normal. Within 3 days, I'm back in full training $1 million. So I've missed like
7 months and, well,
yeah, but the
3 or 4 months for nothing.
I ended up being 8 months I was out for, and it should have been 3. So I've missed, what's the maths? 5 months. Missed 5 months for nothing. So when I've come back now, Lee Johnson's the new manager. Halfway through the season, I'm training well, to be honest with you. Lee Johnson's actually liking me, and then my missus is pregnant, and this is going to sound like an excuse, but missus was pregnant. I was in the hospital. I was actually ill. I think I had COVID. I'm not sure. I had the flu anyway, put it that way. I'm in the hospital for a whole day. Like, she's in labour for a whole day, so I've not slept at all. Next day, I'm starting in the game. But I've not started. I'm not going to turn around and say, Gaff, I'm not ready. Like, I've not slept. I'm ill. I'm not doing it. I just wanted to play. So I've played in this game, and I'm not even having a stinker. I'm having a decent game, but I'm flagging. I'm knackered. I'm tired after 30 minutes. I'm not going to lie. 30 minutes. I wasn't cramping. I was feeling the pace of the game, and the Gaffer's dragged me after 30 minutes. Ross County.
Okay.
Gaffer's dragged me after 30 minutes.
He knows that your missus has just been.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm fuming that he's dragged me at 30 minutes, because I could have made it to half time and probably got another 15 minutes or so. Wasn't playing badly. But anyway, he's dragged me at, you know, it's a bit of a violation, innit, when you get dragged at 30 minutes. So,
So, anything first half.
Anything first half. Even half time's a bit like, but you can take the first half at half time, but first half's just nuts. So anyway, I've gone to speak to the gaffer like, why have you done that kind of thing? And kind of having a debate in the office. I wish I never went to speak
to him. A debate or an argument?
Bit of both. And wish I never did that, because I've after speaking to so many people that I've done that, it's never turned out well, you know.
No.
So after that, I just was kind of put to one side. Wasn't training with the first team anymore. Was actually put to train with the kids, the under 18s. Wasn't allowed in the building until after 2 p.m. So they'd make me come and train with the kids. So it's a big
argument that you've had a big fallout.
Yeah, it's a big fallout.
2 p.m. is a big argument. That's tight. That.
He said he didn't want me in there on the first team.
That's harsh, that, isn't it?
And I'm not a bad lad. Like, he's sweet to any players or staff that have had me before. Like, it was just one of them where he just yeah, just had a falling out with the gaffer, and it's just one of them. But anyway,
So that's your time up.
that was my time up.
Get me
Unless
out
the
of
manager
here.
was, we weren't getting the results at the time, so I was thinking maybe I'll stick around and see if like he leaves or whatnot, and he never did. So it was coming to the back end of January, and I was like, I need to play some football, man.
I need to get
I need
out.
to play some football. So that's where my current manager at Exeter, Gary Caldwell, gave me the ring. He's been one of the pivotal factors in my career, and I'll take you back to a time with him before I signed for Blackpool. Gary Caldwell was doing one-to-one sessions with me in Wilmslow, just me and him, and he was just running me, and just doing football sessions as well. So I was ready to go into Blackpool, and then at the time he obviously didn't have a club as well as I didn't have a club, and I went to Blackpool. Obviously, ended up getting signed, and then the season after, I've done it with him again. This time at Mottram Hall. I'm still at Blackpool, but I just wanted to do some off-season training. He's still without a club, and obviously we developed a good relationship. He knew I was a good kid, and obviously I had respect for him. I'd worked with him at Hibs. That's why he took me to Hibs initially.
Okay.
And then he's ended up taking me to Exeter. So he's been probably the biggest part to play in my career in terms of like where it's gone and how I played at Exeter and getting myself to Hibs and signing for Blackpool, being fit. So I have to give him his flowers for helping me out.
He's signed one of my favourite guys I've ever met in football, Dave Perkins.
You know Perks? Perks, that's my guy, man.
I played with Perks at Fylde. How funny is he?
He's one of the
Is he the
funniest guys.
assistant there?
Yeah. He's
Mate, the best guy ever.
he's carnage, mate. He's carnage.
I met him at it was Worsley Golf Club. He came and met us with Gary Caldwell.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
They were after. I think they're after a left winger.
okay.
I'm only kidding.
But he's telling me a story there.
No, I'm only kidding. No, but yeah, I did meet him, and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He used to lose his head with the young kids. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And he just he used to do this thing where he'd get on all fours and be like, fucking hell, because someone missed a pass. But he was about fucking 39 at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone was
He still plays for Exeter now. He plays in like when we've got them EFL games.
Yeah.
Does he play himself?
Like for like 20 minutes. Like, it's mad,
still
man.
got a bit.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's still decent.
So what's happening end of this season then? Are you going to stay there? Are you looking for a new club?
You know what it is? I came back from my ACL, and it's mad. You know, football's it's a small bubble, innit? Like loads of managers and players were coming up to me when I came back saying, "Oh, it's nice to have you back" and stuff. It was really nice. Like on the pitch after the games, like, "Oh, welcome back" and stuff like that. So that was really nice. When I came back, I scored on on my first game back for Exeter, but I just still felt miles off it because I'd been out for a year, and everyone was like, "Demi's back, yes!" Like, the fans and that were like expecting me to be the same player that I was before I got injured.
Takes time, doesn't it?
And I expected that for myself when I got back. And then when I did get back and I wasn't feeling fully fit, not so much my knee, but just my fitness, my muscles, my speed of thought, it wasn't at the same place, obviously, before when I got injured. It takes you time. Like, obviously, I hadn't done much in terms of games and stuff. So it took me probably 2 months to actually get back to the player that the fans knew and remembered from before I got injured.
Yeah.
And with Gary, I always have this little back and forth with him. Like he's been playing me in a number 10 this season, and it's not something that I'm familiar with, and I want to be playing out wide. And it was I'm always having a debate with him, like, "Oh, I think I'm better out wide," and he's like, "Nah, out as a wing back," and he's like, "Nah, I want you closer to the goal because you can score for us." And it's like, "Yeah, but I'm better." So yeah, anyway, so I've been playing in number 10, and to be honest, he was right. Like, I'd been able to contribute more goals this season than previous, but I wasn't really enjoying it as much as when I'm playing out wide, because I know that's my best position, getting the ball, driving at people, taking them down the line. So even though I scored more, I remember Rooney said something in one of his podcasts that he was on about I was scoring all these goals, but I just wasn't enjoying it, and I wasn't scoring all these goals. I was scoring here and there. But when I was scoring the goals, I wasn't enjoying it as much as when I'd had a man of the match performance.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So what I realised was I actually prefer like just playing well. Even though I was scoring, it's a nice feeling. yeah, you can't beat.
You prefer having a bet?
Yeah, obviously I'd love to do both. Like when I've
yeah.
scored and played well, like obviously that's the best. But like when I've come off the pitch thinking I've played well today, like
That's a better feeling than scoring.
In the moment, the goal's great.
Yeah.
But afterwards, the feeling of, yeah, I played top today.
Yeah.
Another game top. That's a better feeling for me.
So where does the future lie then? The next few years.
Future lies. I basically just took everything back to where I was when I left United now. So I'm at the stage where like I'm out of contract. Exeter have invited me back to train with them and said basically if you're fully fit and raring to go, that will offer you a contract.
Yeah.
It's all around the corner, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's all around the corner.
Exactly. So that's how we've kind of left it there. The gaffers are like, yeah, like if I'm totally transparent with you, he said, look, Demi, like you're on quite good money at Exeter.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to afford, offer you the same contract that you've been on. We want to keep you. We're not going to offer anything yet because you're not fully match fit because I finished the season with a small niggle.
Yeah.
So, but if you come back in pre-season and you are fully fit, then we'll offer you something to be totally transparent. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've enjoyed having an off-season where usually I'm out going on all my holidays and I'm enjoying actually going to the gym and eating well and I feel great for it.
Good.
I feel great. Like, yeah.
Good story, that, isn't it?
Belter. Told it well.
Told
Enjoyed
it very well,
Yeah.
really well. It's like when you look back at some of the players who you've shared a pitch with as well and growing up and this might sound bad, but when I'm speaking to you, you're not like the person I expected you to be.
What did you expect?
I don't know.
A lot of people say this.
Yeah.
It gets me.
Do you know?
No, I bet it gets
Yeah,
you
it
angry.
gets
You know
me
Tyrese Sinclair?
Yeah.
He was exactly the same. So when he
Ty-
come into
Tyrese Sinclair, where's he at?
York now,
Yeah. So there's a few Tyreses.
when he come into
yeah.
Alty, I had a preconception, and he was the soundest guy ever.
Do you know what I'm gonna say? Yeah,
No,
this
not that
might
you-
sound mad.
No, I didn't
Go on,
think you'd
go
be
on.
sound. I didn't think that you'd be as driven,
Okay.
committed, well-rounded,
Yeah.
humble, all them things,
Okay.
and that's detrimental to me thinking that. But I bet you get that a lot because when you speak, and when you said stuff like that humbled me, that
Yeah.
made me go in and work harder. That I didn't expect that, and
Do
that's
you know what it
that's-
is? I think
And I really like that.
a lot of the time, I'll just say it anyway. Mixed race lads, sometimes people think they might be a bit arrogant and stuff.
100%.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, people think people are arrogant that dye their hair or wear earrings or do certain things. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the time, like those lads are like some of the soundest
Yeah,
lads,
yeah.
like Jesse Lingard. Like he's the soundest guy. Anyone will tell you Jesse's the soundest guy you'll ever meet. Like, and I don't know why there's a misconception about it. I can understand with my Twitter and stuff, but my Twitter, I'm just
I was going to
being
say
a lad,
sometimes
innit?
you Twitter.
But I'm just being a lad, innit? Like, someone's giving me a bit of stick, I'll just give them a bit of stick back,
Yeah.
but they're giving me stick, why can't I? That's how I see
Yeah.
it. So, yeah, like,
100%.
just being myself online, really. And I just think people want footballers to be in a box and just say, good to get the 3 points, onto the next one. But, like, we've got a life
That's
as well.
not true life, is
Yeah,
it?
we've got a life as well. Like, why can't I say what I want online to a certain degree? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything wrong. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I love the fact that you was like, that humbled me.
Yeah.
That really impressed me that I went there and I thought, do you know what? I was arrogant and cocky and probably thought I was like the best in that group. And then I went there and I saw everybody else and I was like, right, okay, I need to step up. I need to
Yeah,
work harder
yeah.
again. I love that.
You're
Yeah,
probably still
Good.
playing in the league just because you had that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
true,
could
it's
see
true.
like some bits, right, I need to sort this.
I'll be honest
No,
with you.
I like that.
When I went to Blackpool, because I hadn't played in League One, I'd only played in Scottish Prem, and because Scottish Prem is the top league in Scotland, like I had respect for that league. But when I went to League One, with it being the third tier, I didn't realise that the level was going to be what it was. So when I've gone into Blackpool, and also I trained at Rotherham and Sunderland, and like I said, I trained like amazing, and I felt like those are big clubs. So when I went to Blackpool, I was quite surprised with the level of talent that was there.
Yeah.
And that's obviously why we got promoted, because individually, obviously the manager was very good as well, but individually the players that we had for League One was leaps and bounds ahead of what I
Yeah.
think the rest of the squads are,
No, I
over the
love
bar
that.
two. because we finished
That was
third.
quality.
It's class.
Yeah.
Mate, really, really good that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the
Appreciate
best.
it, man. Thank you, man.
I told you as well. You got Radcliffe if nothing comes.
Nice one.
Yeah, and we'll
Cheers,
get
man.
your brand out there as well.
Yeah,
Not that
please,
you,
man.
not that you
100%.
need it, but it'd be great to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, it'd be great to direct people to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I say, I love it. Looks cool.
Yeah, that's why I got it on right in front of your face, innit?
Yeah, you've got to do. Yeah, you've got to advertise.
Nice
Mate,
one.
Demetri Mitchell.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, mate. Top man.